Yeah, so we found out about ERT the Friday before. It was not until like Monday or Tuesday that I got approved and then decided to come on the trip.
I'm feeling excited. Actually, my first time going on a mission trip. That's not virtual. Yeah, it is the first time.
I'm really looking forward to meeting a lot of people, just being out there, seeing all the people on the streets, and just getting to talk to anybody we can, knowing that this is our one shot to just bring the gospel to them and yeah, just open up our own hearts to see, I don't know, people around us through God's eyes.
We just stopped by Brooklyn College, and one lesson I learned is we should find out whether schools require a student ID or else we can't get into it. Another lesson I learned is to just go for it and just talk to people. Be bold, even though like it's in a Burger King, but Andrew, he went ahead and talked to this guy. His name is Sean, he's Muslim, and we got to meet some of our other team members, and we got to share with him life in 6 words. And it was a really great experience. Andrew got to share some of his testimony too, and we just told him, yeah, just that college was a perfect time to, discover Christianity for himself.
Today we went to Columbia University, and a couple of us split up to do dining hall outreach, and then we went afterwards to do some hot cocoa outreach, some tote bags, and some man on the street as well. One thing I learned was to, just be genuinely curious about just the other person and their interests and their passions. You can learn a lot from them just by asking just the hows and whys they came to those different conclusions.
So Wednesday we went to Washington Square Park. We had a poster, we were asking what people believed about God, and people would just walk up to us and say like, hey, can I participate? And it's a range of people. It's not just NYU students, but there was like people from the city.
So on Thursday, our team went to Brooklyn Tech High School, and all of us were pretty encouraged when we visited. I came to see that these students are really thoughtful and very open, and they also seem very under-resourced, as a lot of the students, when we surveyed them, they said that they didn't feel like they had an adult mentor figure in their life, as out of the 6,400 kids at the high school, there's only 10 high school counselors. Me and Luis Luna, we talked with a guy, said that he believed that there must be a God because he believed that matter cannot create matter based on science, so therefore God must have been behind all of creation. And he's not even a Christian, he just concluded that. So I left Brooklyn Tech feeling personally very challenged that these students really need people and mentors in their life, and are also just very open to the gospel.
Yeah, so we just had a Bible study. It was in this venue. We had 10 newcomers, and yeah, it was kind of crazy. We were just flying in New York, and it was raining, pouring, and just trying to make my best talking to people. So yeah, New Yorkers are actually more friendly than I thought, so that's kind of surprising, but it was just a little hard. But yeah, thankfully some people came.
All right, so we are doing Columbus outreach. What's the weather today, Banwan?
We're just having just a slight drizzle. No, it's pretty bad right now. It's storming, but the mission still has to go on, so we're going on there. We're still going to go to campus with some fresh hot cocoa.
On Friday, we went to Columbia, and it was raining all day. We were trying to do some last-minute outreach right before the talk at 7 p.m. And at 6:55, still not a lot of students had said yes to going to the talk. So we actually reached out to 2 Muslim students, and we just asked, hey, we have a talk at 7 p.m., which is literally in 5 minutes. We have free dinner. Would you be interested in coming out? And they asked, well, what's the talk about? And we said, if there's a good God, why is there suffering? We talked briefly about it for 2 minutes, and then they said, yes, we'll come. And they stayed throughout the entire talk, and they actually had very similar views about God and why they're suffering. But at the very end, they asked, ultimately, why do you believe in Jesus? They had actually never heard that Jesus is the Son of God, and that Jesus claims to be the Son of God as well. So we got to have a really nice discussion about that. And then at the end of the talk, we got to linger around, and they got to meet the rest of the Columbia team as well. A lot of laughs, and they said that they'd be interested in coming out again.
On Saturday, me and Banwan
a dude from Riverside, we were able to meet this ex-con, and he kind of shared his testimony about how he came to faith. As we got to talk to him more, we realized he was more of a universalist in the sense of he believed everything was one God. You know, we tried to tell him that there's just one God, who Jesus was. We tried to preach the gospel. At the end, we were able to pray over him. It was actually really funny. We laid our hands on his shoulders, but he said it and insisted that we had to actually touch his skin, so we laid our hands on his hands.
I had never done youth outreach before, but going to Stuyvesant High School and doing Chips for a survey, we asked the question, if you can ask one God one question, what would you ask him? And this cross-country high schooler ran by us. He wasn't even a Stuyvesant student, he's from a neighboring high school. But he put down a question and I asked him what he wrote, and he kind of gave me a look and just pointed to his question, and it said, "Why did God take my mom?" And then he had to go run and catch up with the rest of his friends. But just from that encounter, I really saw that, oh man, God brought us here to talk to him. Even God brought us to that city to just reach out to those students there. And yeah, I was really encouraged just to see that, you know, God is trying to do a work there, and there's people that are thinking about where he's trying to lead them in their lives. So that was one encounter I was really thankful for.
Yeah, there was this one student. She was an international grad student at NYU. Her name was Yen Han. And she wasn't Christian, but she had an aunt that was Christian. She told her to find the American Christians and that they would tell her more about Jesus and the gospel. And just seeing that she actually had a hunger, and she would actually look up words on the dictionary during service, and she was attentive during the Does God Exist talk. And so she really touched my heart to see that there's actually people that hunger out here in New York. It's been tiring, but very rewarding.
Coming out here is totally worth it.
Hopefully one day, if someone can come out here and touch these people's lives, because they need it and they're hungry for it.
You can see me grinding in the day. They like, hold up, boy, you need to get away. You been doing 90 on the interstate. I ain't riding, but I'm trying to win the race. In this with no better real estate. I know my reward ain't no minimum wage. Plagued with the same birth pains, but I know my labels ain't in vain. Stay off, I ain't finna stay off. Lay off, I ain't tryna lay off. Pay off, I know where to pay off. Tell them we ain't taking no days off. Days off, taking no days off.